Good evening. Coming up on the show tonight, we're talking theatre. We're talking about the brand new show from Green Shoot Productions. It's called What Did You Do for Ireland Da? And it's set in the New Lodge area of Belfast. And for people who's watching this in England, that's the area that Rihanna shot the video in the big block of flats for We Found Love. But enough of that. Let's find out about the play. Curran, Michelle Wiggins and Kealan McAllister join us in the studio.
Hi, Robin.
How's it all going?
It's going brilliantly.
Yeah?
And it's not often you can say that at this stage of rehearsal process. These two are just churning out some magical characters.
Brilliant.
And some very poignant scenes,
but
some hilarious scenes as well. I think people are really going to love it.
So what's it all about then? Obviously set in a working class area of Belfast, an area that you know very well.
It's set in the area where I was born and raised, in the New Lodge, but it represents any working class area across the province.
Yeah.
It's about Jamie, 17-year-old Jamie, and his quite dysfunctional family. Jamie's struggling with his sexual identity, his place in the community, his place in the world. Does he want to be in the area when he's older? Does he want to go to uni? Is he going to take the wrong path or the right path? And it's also ultimately about the family finding their way back to each other.
Right, yes.
You know, a family that aren't very good at communicating with each other. And there's a lot going on in all their lives. There's a lot of past trauma in the older generations, and about how they find a way to speak to each other and work through some of that stuff. Often with hilarious consequences and often with very sad and moving scenes.
Brilliant. Now when it comes to dysfunctional characters, Caroline, that's something that you're well used to playing over the years.
Yeah, well, I have played a few, haven't I, really? Yeah, so I play every other sort of character in Jamie's family and friends and people in the local area. So again, a broad range of different types of characters, shall we say.
Okay, Kealan, what about you? Tell us about your character then.
So I play Jamie. He's a 17-year-old fella from the New Lodge, as Wiggy described. He is sort of struggling with a lot of things in his life, not just his sexuality, but also something that's very important for young fellas. There comes a point in your life where you're like, okay, what am I going to do here? Am I going to go down the right path? Am I going to try and go to uni? Or am I going to take for what is, for many people, the easier route into sort of like criminality? But aside from that, I also play the granny, Moira, who I love playing, by the way. We were debating getting my hair cut, but we actually decided to keep it because it's so granny. And I play another character who I don't think we'll describe because we want to. But it's very funny. Yeah.
So you're playing the Mac in Belfast. This is going to be your first time on the Mac stage, isn't it?
First time in the Mac. I can't wait. It's an absolute privilege to be working alongside these guys. I mean, obviously Caroline and Wiggy's work, that already speaks for itself, but like to get to know them as people as well has been such a rewarding experience as well.
Wiggy, what's going to be like for you on the opening night? Because obviously there'll be people who you know from your area coming to see this show as well.
Well, the show, so we do the community launch in the Dockers Club, which is going to be some crack because I think that's going to probably pack out. Yeah, I'll be a bit nervous, I'm not going to lie. I'll be a bit nervous because you're kind of representing them and kind of showing, but with the set that we've got as well, I think it's going to be a real treat for people from the New Lodge to come in and look at this because it's just, the way we've done it is just, and the way the guys have put it together for us, it's going to be beautiful. So I think it's going to be a real wee treat for them. And I think they will recognise there's many of the New Lodge people in this play. There's a lot of these people that I grew up with and on my street, you know, and still there now. So I think, there's something for all generations because it's 3 generations of Jamie's family. So I think, you know, I think they'll laugh, I think they'll cry, and I think they'll be really proud that it's about where they're from.
What about your involvement with Green Shoot as well? Because this is part of like a 2-year project, isn't it?
They have been in our area now for 2 years with the women's groups, with the kids. Bronagh, who's written the play, Bronagh Diamond, she has been in to get the kind of things that the kids are dealing with. That's where a lot of that work came from, working through with the kids and what they were up against these days, what kind of things affected them, And then she's gone away and written this based on the women's stories and the kids' stories and what's going on. So yeah, they're really well known now, and really well loved in the area and the community groups. So it's a real project that's really close to their hearts, I think. And they did the same with Pride of the Shore.
Yes, yes.
They got stuck in there and they were really well known and really well loved up there because they really go in. Christina Nelson, who you know as well, does a lot of the outreach as well in there, and Aaron Cathcart. So yeah, they're all known. They know all the wee characters and the women's, and they're all try and overfeed them, bring them stew, bring them soups, but you name it. They're trying to look after them, and they've had a ball.
Yeah.
They've had a ball with them.
Brilliant. Caroline, is it good to escape from Maggie Muff for a while?
Oh, it is. Well, does she ever really escape me? She's coming back. We'll do that another time.
Yeah.
No, it's been great. Obviously, getting to know Kealan, and Kealan has also done one man shows, so it's nice to kind of have company and have someone else to bounce off and take a little bit of the pressure off. Because obviously, with doing these type of plays and playing what we think is true, real characters, the only way to get comedy and poignancy out of all these people that hopefully the audience are going to meet is by playing them truthfully.
Yes.
And to have someone else to bounce off and have ideas, it's been really refreshing. And I play all the older characters, which I'm still adjusting to.
Yeah, so what does that mean? About how are they seeing you now?
So I play his granda.
Right.
So you're welcome. Yes. A real gender switch. And I play his mummy. Well, obviously I'm a mummy, so that's all good. But it's been really nice to have the company and take the pressure off, and hopefully people are going to have a really good night out, see a really, really good play, because some of the stories and Jamie's storyline, I think, is affecting a lot of our young people. As you said, not just in one community, in all communities. And I think everyone from the whole of Belfast will get something out of this play, I believe. Yeah.
And what I love from these Belfast stories as well, even at the darkest of situations, you can always find humour, can't you?
Well, it's always what we do. I think, this sounds awful, I think I've had bouts of laughter at every funeral I've ever been at. I think, and I do think that's an Irish thing, because as soon as something is really serious, our first go-to is humour.
Yes.
Kind of dark humour, because there are some very dark themes in the play, and remnants of the past that are brought back up. So,
but there's a real message of hope within
this
play,
and it's about
and it does reference the past and things like that. But that's the whole premise of this play, is to see that there is hope out there. If he talks about it, if everyone talks about it, then they find ways of how to fix each other, essentially.
Yes, yes.
It's all about moving forward.
Yes, yeah.
It's very much 2025.
Yeah.
Post-Troubles Belfast life, as it's not a Troubles play. It's
Exactly.
So it's kind of the first one we've seen where it's actually moving things on. We're not going way back in time and staying back in time.
What it's about, exactly. Yeah. It's what it's about in next generations and what's out there for them, and and a lot of hope, lot of hope and faith for the future.
You've had a busy year.
I'm doing okay.
Well, you are. You haven't stopped.
Well, I keep going. I've nothing in the autumn, so there is a small window.
But there is another show coming up after this one. You're off to East Belfast next, aren't you?
I am off to East Belfast, yes. I think I'm allowed to give that out now. Ulster American by David Ireland, which is a really dark, also it has funny elements, but a really dark play, and I think it'll be really nice for people to see me in a completely different light, which is extremely dark, which I'm really looking forward to playing.
And then you've got something lined up for Christmas?
Yeah, so again, I'm back producing, writing, singing the theme tune, acting the theme tune in my Christmas show for the Grand Opera House Studio this year.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I'm so blessed.
Yes.
With Deck the Halls.
Yes.
And we're all going to go on holiday.
Lovely.
So, yes, but there is that small window in the autumn, if anyone's looking at me.
So you're being greedy, because then into the new year next year, then somebody's coming back again, isn't she?
Maggie's coming back, bless her, with the menopause.
Well,
I'll probably be in the menopause by that stage. But yes, fingers crossed. And I keep saying this, but thank you to every single person that has supported me for this length of time. I still can't believe it. Yeah. So come to the Mac and come and see this play.
We will. Wiggy, what's next for you?
A rest.
Yes.
After this, first of all. But I have a few projects coming up in the new year as well. I don't think I'm allowed to say any of them yet, but
okay.
I'll hopefully see you again to say about those.
Let's hope so. Kealan, what's next for you?
I am doing a one-man show in late July and August. It's the sequel to the one-man show I did previously.
Okay.
It's quite like the Maggie Muff.
Brilliant.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, yeah.
But and then I have a few projects later in the year as well. It's going to be a revival of a play, the first professional play I ever did. It's about Glentoran. It's called One Saturday Before the War.
Okay.
It's about them winning the first ever European trophy in 1914.
Right. Sounds good.
Yeah, it'll be great, crack.
Sounds exciting. So what did you do for Ireland Da? Why should everybody come and see this show then?
It is poignant and it is hilarious.
Yeah. Wiggy, why should everybody come and see it?
I think, apart from the hilarity, it's just got so much heart.
Yeah.
And I think audiences will, as Caroline says, if it's East Belfast, Protestant areas, working class, all of the themes are exactly the same of what kids and what people are dealing with.
Yeah.
And I think they'll get something out of it that they really enjoy.
Caroline, why should they come and see it?
I think they should come and see the play because, again, it's got great heart, it's got some funny characters, and I think even from young to old, everybody will get something out of it.
Brilliant. So you're opening in the Dockers on the 19th?
Yes.
And then you're off to the Mac?
We're off for a week in the
The
Mac.
24th to 29th.
Brilliant. Glad you remember that.
I know. That was like a line in a script there, was it? 24th to the 29th.
Guys, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you
And
for having
the
us.
very best of luck for the show.
Thanks
Thank
a
you
million.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.